the Dog Days album is very much about, you know, painful things.
I've been searching, can't seem to find my way. Seems the nights get darker each and every day. This time I've wandered too far from home. Friends all around me, but I feel alone.
My songs tend to be my way of dealing with problems in my life. It helps to create something out of those painful moments. A lot of the songs have evolved from states that I was ashamed of, but like kind of found their way into being something that I'm more comfortable with over time.
I feel I've been here before, staring calmly at the open door. I knew you'd be back this way. You spoke softly, said you couldn't stay.
Deja Vu was the first song that I wrote after a bunch of years. Like, I'd written Start Anew while I was in Steve. 5-6 years ago, when I was in the band Steve with my friends, and we just made a recording on our home computer, like with a $10 microphone, and we just sort of layered the parts and made something that sounded kind of cool to us. And I started out doing just that again with these songs as I was writing them, but then right around that same time, one of my other friends that was in the group made this like 4 or 5 song EP, and I liked that. And my brother Brian does the electric guitars and bass, and I know that Brian was currently doing a lot of recording too, and actually he was running sound professionally at some club in Akron, and kind of really into it. And so my thought was, I'll do a song with Sean, I'll do a song with Brian, and learn from that. Like, just even if the songs aren't finished, I'll get some idea of how to do it, and then I'll just do the rest of it on my own. And I started a song with Sean, and I went out and bought the same microphone he had. And then I did a song with Brian, and we just had such a great time just doing it, and the result was really good. And that really kind of got me excited to want to make more of the kind of fragments that I've had laying around. That was the whole inspiration to make a collection of songs. I mean, over the course of 2 years, you know, Brian is a little less involved in terms of recording all of the tracks, and I've kind of come to do things on my own, whether it's kind of wherever I was living, wherever I could find a quiet environment. We're here right now in the basement where I stayed for a few years, for about a year, when I moved back home after being away for a while, and then eventually we moved this stuff upstairs to my brother's room and recorded there. And then when I moved to Kent, that's when I started to use the bathroom. I had made a video for the song Deja Vu, in which I was doing the sort of premise of the video is I was doing a demo record. I was like writing a song and recording it, and that was part of the way you worked the performance into the video. And I was doing it in the bathroom just because it was a home, supposed to be like a home setup, and you know, there's tile in there. You can have some natural reverb.
Well, here we are. Here's producer, director David James Brannick, and we're trying to set up the recording apparatus for the bathroom take for the Deja Vu video.
So kind of inspired by my own video, I was doing that a bit, and it's really just trying to, anywhere I can record that has a quiet environment, I can lay down a track. And as I got to recording the drums last, which is like the worst thing you can do, and it's amazing that, I mean, I have my friend Logan who was in Steve playing the drums, and I went one time to Columbus where he lives, and took the whole get up there and recorded a couple of tracks in his place. Sean lived in Cleveland for a while, and that's where I would go to record the piano parts. And it's a really tall order, though, I have to say, for everybody, for Logan, for Sean, because they have to learn a song on a day. They have to learn it, come up with a part, and record it kind of all at once. But we kind of have to get together just as people's schedules align, and so that's why it's taken so long. But it's worth that to me, to have the sound and to have the contributors be who they are. You know, to also have the patience with me because the people that play on this record, and you know, the environment. I've grown up making things, and I have a very creative group of friends and creative family, and I like making things with friends, and the music that I respond to most is the music that seems to speak directly to my own experience. And writing about relationships, I think, is a pretty universal thing. They might be specific to me, but I imagine that there's a universal experience.
Are you tired? Are you torn? Do you feel like you've been dying since before you were born? Have you lost love? Have you found hope? Have you given up the guilt that you've held so close?
I have a pretty illogical and unrealistic desire to be understood by people. I think a lot of times that if I'm able to just communicate my point of view well enough, and really articulate it in the way that I mean it, that will make all the difference, and that people just need to understand. And I think the thing that I'm trying to wrap my head around, and both in life and in this process, is that's not just something that's going to really happen to the extent that I want it to. So I kind of just have to do what it is that I do, and then the hope is that it will appeal to somebody.